relishing in flavors of the past. In this episode, we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane and introducing you to some kitchen creations with Chef Alex Hamilton.
Hello.
That, are kind of childhood nostalgia. And this is one of those things, like as a chef, like where do you look for inspiration?
Usually childhood. I mean, because even the scent, the olfactory glands are connected to memory and all that, right?
Right.
That's like famously in Ratatouille. That's like how the critic got, the evil food critic kind of got just brought back to his past was through the olfactory, and it's like because that evokes memories and all that.
Yeah.
And flavors too, but really.
Totally.
That, and
Yeah.
so and my childhood was rife with.
So if anybody, if you really know Alex, you know that he loves the flavor of root beer.
Yeah.
And it shows up a lot. And this was actually, one of my favorite things that you've created is that candy ginger infused with the root beer. And, you were working with locally grown ginger.
Mm-hmm.
And we brought this up the other day, those little ginger turmeric shots. Like somebody was in the other day, like, where are those? I love those. And I'm like, well, we were using locally grown ginger. It's not available year round, that kind of thing. So that'll make a comeback.
Yes.
But
every
what
time.
you did make that's root beer that's quite unique, quite surprising, but totally delicious. And again, rooted in this kind of childhood nostalgia is what you have right here.
The root beer cookie, root beer float cookie. Yeah.
The root beer float cookie.
I just because and also as a little bit of a historical thing with me and the Light Cellar is. I came here and I saw that there was root beer mix, and I was just like, I was a pastry chef in a restaurant in downtown Calgary, and I came here all the time for a leg up kind of thing, because there's sea buckthorn and the root beer blend. The root beer blend was just and I fell in love with it, and I still am in love with it, because it's amazing, and so. Which
is another theme too, right? In terms of what's new is what was old, revisiting these old root beer is a great example. It was a traditional spring tonic, a lot of what's in our kind of modern culture, like Coca-Cola, it's herbal roots, root beer, herbal roots, and it's reclaiming that. Even the idea of chocolate, what its roots was used as a delivery system for other different medicinal herbs, how the Mayans and the Aztecs used it. It wasn't just a candy bar, it was this kind of sacred beverage that was loaded up with herbal medicinal ingredients to achieve either greater state of health or kind of a mind expansiveness or a physical
totally,
something that they needed. And that taking the root beer and
putting it into a cookie.
what can we do with it? Yeah.
So. And so I was just because it just made sense to me because we had the ginger cookies for Christmas time. And then I was just like, well, anywhere there's ginger, it just makes sense because ginger's part of the root, in the root beer. Of most old recipes, traditional recipes had ginger. When ginger was brought to the United States through Asia and all that, right? And so, and I think there's wild ginger here too, right?
Yes. In BC. It's different. It's not quite the same as what we know it. But similar enough, in that sense. So it started from the kind of the ginger molasses cookies to a root beer cookie, and then the idea of putting the cream on it, to kind of represent. I mean, marshmallow, the float.
Totally. And there's marshmallow root in here, and just a little bit of tremella as well, and so.
Right. Yeah. Okay, sweet. Well, if you haven't seen these, they've just kind of hit the floor, and actually over Alex's shoulder, you can see right there on top of the cooler, we now have some kind of racks of cookies, just to kind of feature those more prominent. And honestly, it's a little bit of a nudge, for the shop staff to keep it filled. I don't know how many times a day we'll run out of cookies. We're sold out. We've got to make another batch. And it's our goal is to always make them fresh every single day, but just to not run out, not to always have them available, because I know how disappointing it is. You come in, you're looking for a tallow cookie or a tahini cookie, it's we're just baking more kind of thing,
exactly.
and we always will be, but we've got those racks kind of are ready, and now with the addition of the root beer cookie. So okay, so our next one is kind of again in that chocolate realm, and what do we have here?
So this is the apple crumble bar.
Uh-huh.
You know, I just I love it too, because I like as mentioned before, you know, like a big nostalgia for me was apple crumble with half and half milk poured into it, and it was just like.
Me too, like
so
both sides. My parents, you know, like and their parents, so my grandparents, you know, like visiting them in Scotland and England, and then what my parents too would like create and serve me and my brother is the most common, you know, thread between it as a dessert was crumbles. Yeah,
it's so good. Like and it's such a Scottish British kind of like British Isles thing, and so just decided to make it into a bar.
Yeah, totally. You know, okay, so this is the grass-fed milk white chocolate with like lots of nice beautiful vanilla, and then how else did this come together?
So because we have the freeze dryer, I figured, you know, why not make like apple crumble filling and then freeze dry it, and it turned out to be one of the best. Like it is really good. So.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, freeze dried apple crumble, kind of, you know, in the on top of the white chocolate bar.
Yes, and then like our chai spice in it, like the cordyceps chai spice in the apple crumble. So
yeah, all right. Well, you got to taste it to believe it. Both of these creations here on the floor, and come on.
Yeah.
See you come by, give them a taste, see if it kind of brings back that childhood nostalgia for you.